at SWK Technologies. With me today is Stuart Blumenthal, our Business Intelligence Evangelist. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to attend this webinar today, spending some time to learn about Nectari and how it works with Sage 100. Just to let everybody know, this session will be recorded, and in a day or two it will be up on the SWK website where you can review it at your leisure. Coming into the webinar, everyone will be on mute, and you'll be on mute throughout the webinar. So if you have questions, just please type in your questions as you have them into the question section on your control panel, which should be on the right of your screen unless you've moved it, or you can also type them into chat. But at the end of the webinar, Stuart and I will go through those questions and answer all of them. So with that, our agenda today, I'm going to start with an introduction where I go over business intelligence in general and then do a little bit of specifics on Nectari. Then I'll turn controls over to Stuart, and he will take us through how Nectari works with Sage 100 ERP. And then, as promised, I'll finish up with questions. So to start, why business intelligence? Well, many companies today are challenged with trying to access information stored in their ERP system in a timely and meaningful manner. Oftentimes, these companies are relying on a number of like third-party add-ons like Crystal Reports, or pulling information into Excel or Access and processing it there. And this is a time-consuming way to try to make important business decisions. And that's where kind of business intelligence solutions come in. Business intelligence solutions enable companies to perform in-depth analysis of aggregated information in the form of key performance indicators, or KPIs. And these are really just dashboards or reports and graphs where you can drill down into more detailed information from across your entire organization. And so these BI solutions transform data from various systems and applications and other databases to insightful, actionable, and collaborative information, all channeled through a single user interface that your users and employees can then analyze, annotate, and share in real time. It basically, bottom line is, it helps you make better decisions more accurately and faster. So the primary advantages of BI on the screen, but what does that really mean to day-to-day business? Well, it's going to help you eliminate guesswork. Instead of like an executive or an owner relying on best guess or gut feel to make their decisions, with a business intelligence solution, you should have more accurate, timely information where you can make those critical decisions. You're going to get faster answers to your business questions. Rather than spending hours like messing around with an Excel spreadsheet, you're going to have dashboards in front of you and reports at your fingertips where you can actually drill in and get the information you need to make those decisions. You're going to gain insight into customer behavior. You can get visibility about what the customers are buying, and actually more importantly what they're not buying. And then you can turn this knowledge into additional profit and help retain your valuable customers. You'll be able to identify cross-selling and upselling opportunities. You're going to learn how to streamline your operations because with the detailed insights you gain through a business intelligence solution, it's going to make it more obvious where you need to make the changes. You'll improve your efficiency. Like I said before, instead of trying to pull information out of multiple systems and then convert it and merge it into like a number of reports and then communicate all these reports internally, and everyone debates the accuracy of how accurate the reports are, and and since you've done the reports, things have changed within your company and new information has come in. With business intelligence software, all the information is centralized and can be viewed in a dashboard or turned into a report, and you're going to save a lot of time and a lot of inefficiencies, just in that decision-making process. Other benefits, you can learn what your true manufacturing costs are. You're going to be able to manage inventory better so that you're ordering the right amount of inventory at the right time so that customers receive the products that they want when they need them. And all in all, you're going to be able to see where your business has been, where it is now, and where it's going. Business intelligence solutions are very successful at explaining, like what happened to a business over some defined period of time. For example, how many units have sold, through what store and what month and what geography and what customer segment. And then once these issues are understood, then you can turn that information into decisions that give you, a competitive advantage. So, that's kind of, in a nutshell, broad overview, I should say, of, why people look for a business intelligence solution. So, so what the heck is Nectari? Well, Nectari is one of those business intelligence solutions. Nectari, again, makes it easy to access enterprise information quickly and securely. It's fast to deploy and administer. It's powerful, and its features and functions are easy to learn, and they provide, self-service data analysis and reporting that, all your users can access, all the users that you want can access. Nectari is designed and engineered to provide real-time, integrated, and high-performing access to multiple data sources, so your users have everything they need to make informed and timely business decisions. Nectari's advanced features include data entry and business logic capabilities. So it's an open framework, and you can use that to build processes such as budgeting and forecasting, with the ability to access, validate, and transfer data between Nectari and your other enterprise software applications. And it's secure. Its own security layer makes optimal use of existing standard database security so that you can ensure the protection of your enterprise data and its integrity. So overall, in a nutshell, Nectari allows you to access your enterprise data transparently across all your systems and databases. It's simple to use, but it's powerful, and it's rich in feature and function. And when you come back to it, it's best deploy and simple to administer. Show you once this happens here. Okay. Yep. Okay. So Stuart's going to show us how Nectari works with Sage 100. So take it away, Stuart.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Brian. As Brian was saying, business intelligence is really important, and the interface and getting the information out is really the key thing. The funny part is that nowadays with business intelligence, we have clients that have data on Excel spreadsheets and crystal reports. The problem is that these reports, these Excel spreadsheets, they're all over the network. It creates a challenge, as you all know. Even during upgrades, hey, where's all your reports? Well, they're here, they're there. What the advantage of Nectari is that it's able to be all in one central location. And as you can see on my screen here, I am simply just in a web browser. I'm in Firefox, so it runs on any browser, and using HTML5. It also uses a little bit of Silverlight in there. And what it does is that everything is stored in one location. And what that allows you to do is that allows you to centralize out the reports. That's a huge advantage. You can run this from a web browser. You can also, there's also a web-based, a mobile version, so you could run it from your phone or run it from your tablet. And those also work really well. The other advantage by having this all centralized is that you don't have to worry about installing something on a local machine. It just makes it very clean and very easy to administer. And you know that people are not having rogue copies of reports somewhere and things like that. Also, you can also control the security in this. And so what things can people run and what can't they run? So what we're in right now is we are in the Nectari. We are on the left-hand side here. You'll see we've actually have the modules for Sage 500 as well. As Brian said, it also runs on 300 and X3. But in my demo image, I've got Sage 100. But we also have our Sage 100 templates here. And as you'll see here, they look a lot like the different modules that are available. And we'll go through these in some detail so you can take a look at that. Once we bring this up here, for example, accounts payable, what we have is here is different processes. So this is our folder level. Underneath here is our different processes. So what our goal was to help you determine what information do you want to get. And again, we don't want you getting it via email. Email communication is terrible. So for example, things that I would look at in accounts payable, what are my new vendors? What are my open invoices? Who are my top vendors? What are my recent payments that I received in? A vendor analysis of how we're paying our vendors, and simply just a vendor list. And we've done the same thing, for example, other modules, for example, accounts receivable, who are our new customers, our open invoices, our sales the last 30 days, missing customers, which customers have ordered from you in the past that haven't ordered something in a while. Those are the customers that we want to be contacting if we're in the distribution business to stay on top of the game. What's our cash receipts, customer analysis, and customer lists? But we've gone further than this. And so, for example, it's great you can get general ledger information out of there, like budget to actual analysis. Inventory management, what are our new items, our low stock and our item sales. We also have modules that normally don't have business intelligence tools with them so far. So we spent a little bit of extra time on that. Job costs, for those who have job costs, what's our open stock, our open job status, and give us a cost code analysis. For those who use the work order module, let's get some cost analysis, our overdue work orders, and our work order scheduling. And in our MRP module, one of the most challenging modules sometimes for getting reports out, we've now got this in a web browser. So what's our sales forecast, purchase orders to create, work orders to create, and action by vendor. And then we have our normal module, sales orders. So what's our open orders? Under RMA, what's our return analysis? And again, for purchase order, what are our open purchase orders? So as you can see, what we tried to do is understand from a business aspect, with all our years experience in Sage, we wanted to make sure that you had a great arsenal of information right in front of you. Well, that's good that we've given you the overview, so let's go a little bit further into details now. So for example, if I wanted to look at my open invoices here, I've got several different ways of looking at it that we've predefined. Do we want to look at our open invoices? Do we want to look at it by salesperson? Or do we want to look at it by cash flow projection? When's our cash coming in? Me as an owner, that would be very important. So let's take, there's a couple different ways of looking at this. We've got it as a graph, as a worksheet, and then as a graph. So I'm going to start off with my open invoices in a graph mode. And the reason I'm showing you this is that, one, is that it's very easy, shows it up very easily. But one of the things that we spend a lot of time when we developed the integration with Nectari was that we wanted to combine multiple companies together. That's always been a big challenge with Sage. Oh, you got to run this report 3 times and get that information. So one of our key goals in this product was multi-company consolidation for all modules across the board. So for example, at this point here, if I don't have multiple modules, I have multiple companies, it would only say one here, but very quickly I can take this ABC company and drill down and say, well, here's my East division, here's my West division. Well, looks like my East division is doing a little bit better, so I'm going to double click on that. And at this point here, I can start seeing all my customers. Well, Shepherd there is concerning me. And we've got this sorted in descending order. And I can simply, again, double click on this, and I can start seeing their invoices and how much they make up. Great, very easy to get that information. We can also do this in more of a worksheet point of view. So if I double click on the open invoices here, what's really neat about Nectari here is that I can have information or I have multiple tabs open at the same time, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a neat trick using dashboards a little bit later, but we'll come to that. So again, open invoices here, can look and say, okay, so we have this by company, this by division, and we have the customer name. Over here, what we've got is our dimensions here. So we've tried to give you a list of the most produce your report so that you're not having to link tables together and do all those challenging things that every time someone says, I want a new report, you start scratching your head going, well, I got to link this table to this table to this table. We try to do a lot of that for you right out of the box. But let's say, for example, here that you like this report, but you also want it to be grouped by invoice type. So you want to see the different types of invoices they have, credit memos versus. So simply, I could just come over here, drag information over, and it's now been moved over to my group. So now if I expand my e-sales and then I expand my customers there, I would see what they have in terms of credit memos, finance charges, and invoices. And that could affect you, especially if you're looking at invoices. You might not really want to worry about the credit memos or the finance charges, but you just want to look at the invoices. So manipulating and dragging and dropping the fields that you want into the worksheet is very easy to do. You could change the sorting around. You can make this very much very easy to use. And as you see here, what we did was, in this case here, we have this by salesperson name. Got the same exact process, because and one of the key things about this system is that, let me open up the sales by salesperson here. We know the data, the numbers here are going to match each other, because we know that this is all coming from the open invoice process. One of the things you find challenging with reports sometimes is they have different types of reports, the numbers are different. And so if you utilize the tools within here and build off the processes, these things with the little gears, you know that you're going to get the information you want. So basically all we did was we just said, okay, I like this one here, but instead of sorting it by division and by division and company name, all I did was I threw the salesperson up in front and I presented the report differently, and I just went up top here to do a file and save as, and I just saved the setting I just saved it with a different name. So very easy to make those changes to the system here. The other thing that you're able to do, and we're not going to go into a lot of details, that you can start filtering. So if there are specific things that you want to look for example, if you want to look for invoices that are just over 30 days old or just over 60 days old, those are things that you can create filters for, save the reports with the filters, and now you just have your invoices you need to look at. Give me my my invoice is over 30 days old, over 60 days old, give me over 90 days old, and it becomes very easy. One of the other things about this system is that, right now we're just showing you the worksheets and the graphs. There's a lot of other ways of presenting this information. So again, we got our fields here on the right, but up here on the top here, we can actually show other pieces of information here. So if you want to show this on a map, so for example, we can pull your customer addresses and look on a map to see where they're all physically located. We can start looking at different types of bar graphs, stack bar graphs, horizontal bars. We can do lines, pie charts, donuts, all those different things. So you've got a lot of different ways you can display the information graphically, because no one wants to see it the same exact way. So if I want to go back to here to my open invoices and I say, you know what, I really like it instead on sideways, not a big deal, I can start seeing it that way. And again, I can start drilling up and I can start looking at it just on the opposite side. So you can really choose how you want to see this information here. If I want to see it as a pie chart instead, there we go, and I can hover over all this. It will show me each of my companies, and then very easily drill down into that information. So you might want to present it in one way, you might want to present it in a different way, and you have that flexibility with the different view types there. So it's a great tool set. In fact, we'll just do area just for the last one here. So you can do that. You can just have a lot of fun here, and drive the owner crazy with just great information and great information. Make sure there's no questions so far. Just double checking. Perfect. No questions yet. So one of the other things that we wanted to really look at from an analysis point of view, again, is, give me my cash flow requirements here, graphically, and let me just group this up here. Well, So, oh, sorry, I was just looking at it wrong here. So, by date here, when is our cash coming in? So we could easily see that most of our cash is coming in on that date. And what's really nice about the Nectari product is that, notice by simply hovering over this, it shows me, it just focuses on that one, so I don't have to worry about, like Excel, am I on the right line, am I not on the right line? You could do a lot of neat stuff with that. So from an accounts receivable point of view, you can start seeing the information you get out of there. Same thing for accounts payable. One other one I think is to show your customer analysis. This is one that I would focus on a daily basis. Like for example here, what is their average days overdue? So you can start seeing that Bay Protonics there, corporation, man, they've got a $16,000 balance, but their average days to pay us is 136 days. We should probably have a talk with that person and find out what's going on. Why are they taking so long to pay on an average basis there? And so again, some of the information, one of the goals here is to present you with a lot of information quickly and accurately so that you can take action in your business instead of being reactionary. So if we kind of go down here, things that people have been asking for example, is simply just give me my my low stock report. So quickly here we can start saying, okay, what are the items here that we need to order? And if I take a look at my action and just simply filter by the action, so we're going to right click on this and sort descending here, very quickly we can find, let's see here, the items that we need to take action on. Sorry, I don't know why it's not sorting there, but we can find out the items that we need to take action on very quickly and have that sorted by that information. Oh, the reason is that I'm actually sorting by the item code. So if I remove that and now sort by the action, and I'm going to sort in ascending order. There. Now quickly we can start seeing, and sorry, I got a little graphical issue with my screen there. I can quickly start seeing the items that we need to buy right away. So there's an easy way of changing the sort and be able to make changes to our predefined worksheets. In the end, these templates are for you to make changes to and to have some fun with. In addition to that, things like job cost. For example, given my cost code analysis. So by cost code here, we can quickly, look at what our estimated costs are, our year-to-date costs, and what our actual costs are, and start looking at our variances on a cost code by cost code basis. So if you're using job cost, this is a great way of getting that information. Also with sales orders, expected delivery, and show me my back order. So as you can see, we created a couple different processes here. So for example, if I wanted to see what is supposed to be coming in by date, I've got this group by date, and so there are people out on the floor can go, okay, what's supposed to be coming, or what am I supposed to be shipping today, and here's my orders that need to be shipped. Allow this to be your interactive tool to know what needs to go out and what has not gone out yet. So as you can see, and one other one that I think is kind of neat is even like the purchase orders here. Show me all my expected receipts. In addition to that, we've got things like in the MRP, for example, action by vendors. Again, some things that have been really challenging so far is seeing all the different in the MRP. What am I supposed to do by vendor here? So after you run your MRP, you can come in here and say, okay, great. By this specific vendor here, let's take computer supply company. These are all the purchase orders that I have in the system, and quickly I can start seeing push them out, unneeded, pull them in, or if they're unneeded. So you can see that I can make these changes very quickly. Same thing for the electronics supply company. Here I have no orders. It's telling me to order those items ASAP and by the dates on each line. And one of the other things that you can do with Nectari is that you're just not limited to pulling the information. Some people have asked us, am I limited to just pull the information from Sage? The answer is no. You could pull the information from your Sage CRM, and you can pull it from other systems. So you're not limited just to one data source. You can pull information from other areas in the system. One of the other last things that I like to show you, so as you can see, I've kept a lot of charts open here. You can have a lot of fun with this. We'll start closing these out. It doesn't take up a lot of memory, and again, as long as you have the current, a good browser, you can pretty much do almost anything you want with this. In addition to that, what we've got is that you can always mark anything as a favorite. So if you went to your favorites, and you can have them in here instead of having to go through the whole menu structure at any time. But one of the things that I like is something called my dashboards. And what the dashboard gives us the ability to do, and I'm just closing some of these out, is to quickly see in one screen multiple worksheets or multiple charts at one time. So for me, what I really wanted to see was my cash receipts coming in, and I wanted to see my aging. So I can, so this is my AR one. You can enter in 4, 5, 6 charts at one time, or worksheets. You can have multiple ones here. So you don't have to actually open up each individual one, but you can create a dashboard to present multiple data elements at the same time. And that's pretty much it's a neat feature. So a lot of times what people find themselves doing in the beginning of the day is not going into the command center here, but what they do is they actually go into the dashboard, choose the dashboard, and they're able to see all their information that they want in one central location. Any questions so far on this? Any questions regarding this?
Yeah, there have been a couple questions that have popped up.
Perfect.
Are you able to see the questions on your side?
I am not, so I'm going to let you read them to me. So.
Okay, then that's what I'll do. So the first question is, how real-time is the data? Does the BI pull information up the previous business day?
So that's a great question. So let's talk about the technology behind this. So what we're doing is that because we're pulling the information from multiple data sources at one time and we're manipulating it, what we're doing is we're actually bringing the data from Sage 100 into Microsoft SQL Server. It does not require you to buy SQL Server. You can use the Express version of SQL. So you can use the Express version of SQL if you want, but and the synchronization depends upon the amount of data you have. But on average, an average company to synchronize the data from Sage to SQL takes about 5 minutes per company. I'm going to say 5 minutes per company. If you have a lot of history, one of our largest clients, we did this for, they had about 8 million records just in their invoice history alone. It takes about 20 minutes for them. That's a very, very large client. But the average client we're seeing is about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. We just did one the other day. It was 3 companies, and it took less than 1 minute. So we synchronize it. You can synchronize it every hour. You can synchronize it every evening. It's up to you upon the schedule how often you want to run it. So it is a cached process.
Got it. And there was another question. It said you mentioned that you can pull information from other systems. How does Nectari perform this? Does it use some sort of data warehouse that it pulls information from all the different sources?
That's a great question. So by pulling information to other warehouses, you can, couple things. You can create, up top here in our administration, we can create links. So for example, right now I'm pulling information in from Sage 500 and 100. Sorry, this part takes, I always forget this part takes a second here. So you can see that we can be pulling it for here. I'm pulling it from 500 from one database, 100 from another database, or within our database, you can always create views that pull out information. Because we're using Microsoft SQL Server, you can create views that access that data in another database, and then you can present it in Nectari. So there's several different ways of handling that aspect.
Okay, and then the last question was, what is the difference between Nectari and Sage Intelligence?
So Sage, that's a great question. So Sage Intelligence is a different product, but it is more Excel-based. It is more Excel-based, so you will go through a generation which will then bring the information down to Excel. Great tool set. The difference is this is the next level up in maturity for business intelligence. So for example, if you need to if you need to, in a web browser and format, instead of having to generate and then bring it, have it brought down to Excel, which is usually at a local level at this point here. This is more in a web environment, so it's multi-user. You can have multiple people in at the same time. It's more geared for those companies that are growing and looking for centralization instead of using Excel and bringing it down to Excel, which then unfortunately limits the way you can share the data. Both are great products. This is just the next evolution, basically, in business intelligence.
Gotcha. All right, and that's the end of the questions. So did you have more to cover?
At this point, no. Unless there was any other questions that came out about it. I would just end on this note. The goal here is to, help our clients gather the information and bring the information together for a lot of different modules. This is something that over the next couple, over a period of time, as this is brought out for more and more clients, the evolution of templates is going to evolve tremendously. There's a lot of great opportunities for the clients to work together, and we're hoping that over the course of time our templates increase, and and this is used a lot because there's a lot of great information to get out of this product. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Brian.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I'll hesitate here for a couple minutes in case someone else has other questions. Just to remind everyone, this webinar was recorded, and so probably by Monday it's going to be up on the SWK website in the event section. You can go to the same event in our event section, and you'll be able to access the webinar from there. If you have, if you need more information, if you need pricing, if you need a one-on-one demo, anything along those lines, please reach out to Alex Nastashkin. His contact information is up on the screen, and he can get you in touch with, with whatever information that you need. Oh, another question did come up here, Stuart. Can you show the stock reports for work order?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make you the presenter again here so he can see that.
No problem. So I'm going to say show my screen, show monitor 2. No problem here. So under work order here, so what we're going to do is we'll show, so the ones that we have are cost analysis, overdue work orders, and work order scheduling. So I'm going to go into each one since you asked. So a cost analysis for me here would show each work order and what is our standard labor rates, our actual, and then so standard versus actual, material, outside processing, and so on. So we've got our different, how we're doing on a work order by work order for each one of the different categories. Overdue work orders show me, and of course everything's going to be overdue since this is 2003, so everything should show up in here. These are all the work orders that were due, the work order date, and now so we're beyond the due date, so this is telling me that we have not finished these work orders at this point here, and this is what we completed. And then the last one that we spent a lot of time on was work order scheduling, and it was probably the most challenging aspect for work order here. So what we can do is by work center here, we can quickly say, okay, great, based upon the day now, and let's just choose 5:15, this is the work order that you're supposed to be working on here. If we choose the next one here, here's 5:16, 6:2, so what you can quickly see, and if there was, I'm looking for, like this one's a great example here. This is one where right now I want to, it's not finished 100%, I want to have more of a, like, you need to take action on this, but notice that, we've got 13 hours in one day and we only have 8 hours available. So this is showing me that we've got a variance. So we've got to, one of the next things we want to do to this one is put some like a variance alerting on there, or show me only the work centers that are over capacity. But what this allows me to do is quickly see what this allows me to do is quickly see which, what's going on a work center on a daily basis and which work orders are assigned to that. Again, you can create as many as you want, but that's what the ones we've created for work order out of the box.
Okay. A couple other questions came in.
Great.
Is there a dashboard in Sage Business Intelligence, or would we need Nectari?
So I'm assuming we're talking about the standard Sage product. Is that correct? I'm assuming that's the question.
I'm assuming that too. Is there a dashboard in Sage Business Intelligence, or would we need Nectari? Oh, and yes was the answer to that. Assuming the Sage standard product.
So the Sage itself has within Sage itself has the business insights. So while those produce really good reports, they're not customizable. So the advantage of Nectari is that if you want to customize your dashboards, if you want to customize your worksheets, you want to pull the information quickly, that's where Nectari comes in. With business insights within Sage 100, you're limited to the predefined ones out there, and you really can't change them or add fields or remove fields. One of the other things that we have added to the Nectari product, and I did not mention this early on, is that if you add a user-defined field in the system, in Sage, to one of the tables we're synchronizing, that user-defined field is available in Nectari. So if you add a field to your customer table or to your vendor table, we are able to bring that information, those UDFs, over into Nectari so you can report on those. So that's another thing I did not mention.
Great. And another question came in. Is there an Excel component in Nectari?
There is. So there is an Excel add-in. I do not have it for today, so I was not planning on showing that today, but what it does is that it does have an Excel add-in, and when you set up any of your processes, for example, I'm going to right-click on here and say design process. When you set up your processes within the system, what you're able to do is you can say, allow me to take that information and pull it into Excel. So there is a whole section in there that allows you to bring the information and bring it over to Excel. So there is an Excel add-in.
Gotcha. Very good. Very good. Okay. I'm going to wait for another minute or two because the questions kind of came in there fast and furious for a second. Make sure there's no further questions.
There we go. And then under here, what you would do is you would go to File. Let's see here. Oh, you're thinking there. Don't know why it's not letting me do what I want to do, but anyway, when I save this, I can actually bring this, oh, there we go, process properties. What you can do is you can publish this to the Excel add-in here, and so when you're in Excel, you can actually pull the information from these processes over into Excel. So that's exactly what I wanted to show. So
that's really cool.
It is. Great questions so far.
Yeah, really. Okay. Well, that does look like the end of the questions for now, at least. So again, if anyone has further questions or needs more information on anything, Alex's contact information is up on the screen now, so just make a note of that. And if you lose Alex's contact information, just check back on our events page on Monday, and then you can review this webinar again and just go straight to the end and find it there. So with that, I want to thank everyone for attending and taking the time to learn more about Nectari and how it works with Sage 100. And that is all. So everyone have a great day.